He was careful. He was calculated. He wore gloves. He wore a mask. He covered his face, concealed his identity, and before he left, he ripped the camera right off the wall. He thought he had erased every trace of himself. He thought he was invisible. He was wrong. On February 10, 2026, 10 days after 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie vanished from her Tucson, Arizona home, the FBI released explosive surveillance footage from her Google Nest doorbell camera, showing a masked, armed individual approaching her front door, a flashlight in his mouth, a gun in his holster, and a backpack on his back, deliberately covering the camera lens with his gloved hand, then using a nearby shrub to conceal the device entirely. But here is the part that should send chills down your spine. That camera footage was supposed to be gone forever. The suspect disconnected the device, a move investigators believe was intentional, seemingly confident that killing the power would erase any record of his presence. And for days, it worked. Investigators confirmed the footage was inaccessible. The case seemed to hit a wall. Then came the breakthrough nobody saw coming. The FBI, working alongside Google engineers and private sector partners, recovered the footage from what they described as residual data located in back-end systems, data that had been marked for deletion but had not yet been overwritten. An IT expert explained it simply. By disconnecting the camera, the suspect may have actually stopped the normal overwrite cycle, accidentally preserving the very evidence he thought he had destroyed. His biggest mistake was the one he thought was his smartest move. Law enforcement experts who reviewed the footage noted something crucial that still images alone could never reveal: the way the suspect moves. Former SWAT commander Josh Sherrod explained that people are often recognized more by their movement patterns than by their physical appearance, meaning someone who knows this individual could identify him simply by watching how he walks. Then came the SWAT raids. On February 13, 2026, Pima County Sheriff's SWAT teams swarmed a residence connected to the Guthrie investigation, detaining a mother and son while simultaneously stopping a third individual in a nearby traffic stop, a man who appeared to be heading directly toward the property being searched. The man detained was identified as Luke Daly, who was held along with his mother while search warrants were executed at two separate locations. Both were released without charges, with Daly's attorney stating he had no link whatsoever to Nancy or her disappearance. The investigation had now generated over 4,000 tips in a single 24-hour period. Even President Donald Trump reviewed the surveillance imagery, with the White House encouraging anyone with knowledge of the suspect to contact the FBI immediately. And yet, Nancy Guthrie remains missing. A source confirmed to Fox News that one of the doorbell images released by the FBI was captured on a completely different day from the others, suggesting the suspect had visited Nancy's home not once, but at least twice before the abduction, conducting deliberate surveillance runs in the weeks prior. This was not impulse. This was a plan, refined, rehearsed, and executed with chilling precision. But the plan had one fatal flaw. He touched that camera. He stood in its frame. And now, somewhere out there, someone recognizes the way he walks. Do you recognize this suspect? The FBI is still waiting. Tips can be submitted at tips.fbi.gov or by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. A reward of over $1.1 million is still unclaimed. And here is the question haunting this entire investigation. If the suspect was careful enough to wear gloves, a mask, and disable the camera, why did he come back a second time? What was he looking for? Drop your theories below, because the answer to that question may be exactly what breaks this case wide open.
What if the most dangerous place on your street wasn't a dark alley or a stranger's car, but the empty house sitting quietly right next to yours? What if someone had already been living in its shadows, studying your every move, your schedule, your habits, for weeks before you even realized you were being hunted? That is the chilling new theory rocking the investigation into the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, and it may be the closest investigators have come yet to understanding exactly how this nightmare was engineered. On February 1, 2026, Nancy Guthrie, mother of NBC Today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie, was reported missing from her home in the Catalina Foothills neighborhood of Tucson, Arizona. Blood was found on her front porch. Her medications, her shoes, and her phone were all left behind. She had vanished in the night, and for weeks investigators searched desperately for answers. Then came a lead that sent chills through the entire investigation. FBI agents returned to the Catalina Foothills neighborhood, going door to door and asking residents new questions, and a key focus emerged: a vacant property located just steps from Nancy's home, vacated by a neighbor shortly before her disappearance. A retired SWAT commander who reviewed the case theorized that this vacant property could have served as a staging ground, a base of operations where a suspect could surveil Nancy's movements, study her daily routine, and plan the abduction without raising a single eyebrow in the neighborhood. An empty house draws no attention, no lights, no noise, no questions, the perfect hiding place. Investigators already knew from doorbell camera images that the suspect had visited Nancy's property on more than one occasion, once armed with a backpack and weapon, and once without, suggesting deliberate, calculated reconnaissance trips in the weeks before the abduction. Now, the vacant house theory gives those dry runs a potential home base. Agents have also requested the specific names of every contractor and construction worker active in the neighborhood in the days and weeks leading up to Nancy's disappearance. Several nearby houses were under active construction, giving outsiders legitimate, unquestioned access to the area. Meanwhile, mixed DNA recovered from inside Nancy's property continues to challenge investigators. The sheriff confirmed the sample may contain genetic material from multiple individuals, complicating the process of isolating a single suspect profile. A leading forensic genealogy company has urged investigators to send the evidence directly to the FBI's Quantico lab, warning that delays in processing could prove devastating to the case. As of today, Nancy Guthrie has been missing for nearly 2 months. Her family's $1 million reward remains unclaimed. Her daughter Savannah continues to beg the world, bring her home. But here is the question that no one can shake. If the suspect was truly living in the shadows of that vacant house, watching Nancy for weeks before he struck, then someone in that neighborhood saw something. A car parked too long, a face that didn't belong, a light where there should have been none. The answer may already exist in someone's memory. Who was inside that empty house? Was Nancy's kidnapper hiding in plain sight all along? And does someone watching this video right now hold the missing piece?